we go, George. We are officially live.
Cool. Good evening, everyone. No, it is not Friday yet. We thought we'd mix it up. We're going to be doing shows on a Monday evening. It is Monday. Yeah, it is. Yeah, Monday evening. Tonight we're going to talk about the Rangers game on Wednesday. So before we do that, let me introduce you to my amazing guests. I'll start with you. Welcome, Adam. How you doing, mate?
Fine, yeah. Just enjoyed a fun weekend down at the South Coast, watching Arsenal finish off their pre-season against Southampton, and lots to enjoy in that one. And looking forward to the proper return for the season on Wednesday.
Yeah, I hope you missed all that traffic that was on the motorway that I saw the group going on about.
I got lucky because I heard about that and I planned ahead. I still got stuck in traffic. I should say it was still rubbish getting down there, but I luckily had the luxury of having the night before, and the second luxury of missing the second half of the Arsenal men's game, which I think we can all appreciate was worth missing.
Yeah, less said about that. Moving on. And then we have the one, the only Andrew. Welcome back, mate.
Good evening, Gooners. I haven't been. How many shows did I miss? Like one, maybe two?
I don't know. I can't remember. I think I missed one of the shows, and then you. Yeah, so it feels like it's been a while.
He's been calling me the sub all week. That's just outrageous. Come on,
Gaffer. Got a promotion. Could have been reserved.
Cheers, Gaffer.
That's all right. Good to have you here, though. Jack, how you doing? It's been a while.
Yeah, not bad, to be fair. It has been a while, but no, glad to be back and looking forward to the season to start, to be fair.
Yeah, it'd be good to get some of your views on stuff as well. No, Dan is not changed that much. We don't have Dan today, so we've gone for the more glamorous and straight talking version. So, Mel, how you doing?
Not bad. Well, I would love to say that I'm not bad, but I'll be honest in the fact that I am slightly hungover. Had great joy in celebrating the defeat of one Rangers team yesterday, so hoping for more of the same on Wednesday. But yeah, I'm all good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all good. It shows you've taken all this podcast stuff quite serious because you're only slightly hungover.
Yeah, it's because I was out with my teammates, so I had to be well behaved. I didn't want to make an idiot of myself that early on in the season.
We'll make a change. We'll change that on Wednesday. That's fine. Also, hi to everyone that's watching. Also, thanks to Liam as well. And with the All Sports Bar Cafe, remember hit that subscribe button. So we'll go on to the Rangers game. I'm not going to start with the question that Andrew thought I was going to start with in the group. So I will get your lineups, but not yet. So I'll start with you, Jack. Obviously, not really spoke to you about obviously the new signings that have come in before we go on to the Rangers stuff. Yeah. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think they're good signings. I think Mariona is definitely decent from Barcelona. Van Domsela, I had my own probably after the Euros that were back here quite a few years back. I was surprised we didn't go in for her then. I'm surprised we've gone in for her now, along with the Zinsberger new contract, but I don't know, we'll see. She's definitely a good goalkeeper, just can two goalkeepers who want to play all the time on big contracts work? I'm to be not sure about that one. But yeah, and the new Swedish player whose name deserts me looks really exciting. So
just call her Rosa.
Rosa, yes. Yeah, no, she looks really good from everything I've seen from her. So I'm pretty optimistic about her. It's just going to be interesting to see how Jonas fits them all in together, to be fair.
Yeah. Yeah, we do need to address the elephant in the room about Rosa. We do need to get an official way of how to say her last name because it's holding us up with what songs we can sing. So, yeah, Rosa, if you're watching, if you could just let us know, we appreciate it. Yeah, I agree. I think the players we brought in, I think with Van Domsela, she could really push Manu. And that's not me saying Manu's not good or anything before Andrew attacks me.
Grr.
But I just think I think between the two, it's good rotation. Do you agree with that, Adam, or do you not agree with it?
No, I agree. I mean, like Jack, I first saw Van Domsel at the Euros. There was the Netherlands Sweden game, and she came off the bench for Southern Vinedal, and I thought, why is this keeper number 2? Well, the reason number 2 is because Sarri was the number 1 keeper, and there was no way she was going to have that taken from her. But Van Domsel stepped up, and she was amazing. And I remember watching on TV then the quarterfinal against France, and the only reason it got to extra time was because Van Domsel was keeping nearly everything out. And I wish we could have signed her then and then, but I think there was she was quite early on in her footballing sort of journey, needed more experience, and got a lot of that at Aston Villa. I'm glad we got her. I'm glad we got another DVD at Arsenal, because we sadly lost one a few years ago. So we've got a new DVD to replace her. And I think she's going to push Manu. I think Manu was only extended the contract-wise about a year. I think this is going to be Manu's hardest test to keep hold of that number 1 jersey. I think Van Domsel's got what it takes to push her. And Manu needs that. She's fended off the likes of Lily Williams and Sabrina D'Angelo, and become a better keeper because of it. But I think this would be the one, and I think we've done very well to get a keeper of that quality.
Yeah, I agree with that. I was liking when you said we've got a new DVD. Just thought if anyone's joined, they probably thought, hold on, this is the right show. But no, that's a fair point. We'll go on to the talk about the Rangers game. Obviously, I know Mel's got a lot to say about Rangers, so we'll wait that. We'll build the anticipation for that. She's done some very good match analysis and everything. Andrew, I'll come to you. What's your original thoughts about Wednesday's game? Are you confident?
Yeah. I mean, I've been listening a lot to Mel, taking out the swear words and the insults.
There's only about 2 words.
With all due respect, they're literally not in the same league. I think the only thing that we just have to be patient, because I'm sure they're no mugs either, and they're going to be really well organised. I suppose they're probably not used to playing that defensively. I don't know. Although I did see that they can mix it up a little bit. I think that's the only thing is, we might have to be patient. If it's 0-0 at half time, so be it. I still think we're going to run out 3-0 winners at least. And this, again, Agent Mel is my main. Agent Mel is my main source of information there. I think that's not the game I'm particularly worried about. I'm very, very confident. We might have to be patient. I'm sure I'm gonna be very compact, but right. I'm gonna go with 3.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't be worried about Leicester away, mate. It's fine. Like, we built it up. So we built it up, Mel. So obviously we know your opinion. Well, no, actually, the viewers might not know your opinion on Rangers. So, floor's yours.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not up to speed with Scottish football and you don't really know by the various shirts and scarves going on behind me, it's very, very clear and obvious what side of Glasgow I am for, and it's not the one that wears blue. It's very much the one that wears green and white. So, everybody in here can confirm this, but when I found out we got Rangers in the draw, the voice note that I sent in the group chat was high intensity. I should have put a headphone warning on it because it was loud. There was also a lot of swear words in there. So I'm going to behave myself. I'm going to try not to swear. But if I do swear, then I'm sorry. We're not officially after the watershed. It's still before 9 o'clock, so I will try and behave myself. But
it is somewhere. It's somewhere after.
Exactly. So for once in my life, I've actually got notes.
Wow.
I won't show the note that I sent in the group chat because it definitely can't be shown.
Is it just a loop of just down with Rangers, just a constant, a whole page of just
the last pages, the opening and the conclusion is Rangers are shite.
rubbish?
Followed by they're getting pumped. The second one, I can't see us absolutely running them over, but I don't think it's going to be an easy game for them. They have got quite a young squad. In my semi-drunk state last night, I sat and worked out the average age of their squad that played Dundee United yesterday, and it came to a grand total age of 25.18 years old.
Wow.
Mainly because they're playing a lot of their academy players at the minute. I don't know if that's just them looking at their opponents they've been playing. They've played Aberdeen, who finished top 6 last season. They've played Montrose, Dundee United. They're playing a lot of teams that aren't going to challenge them. They're not really challenged in any capacity in the league until after they come home from London. So in that case, anybody who's looked at them pumping teams 10-0, 11-0, whatever it was, don't be worried. Nothing to worry about. If you want to look at a game and go, maybe I should be worried, watch them play Celtic or Hibs or Hearts or Glasgow City. That's the 4 teams that give them their biggest challenge, and they're not playing them until well after they play us. So don't let their goal difference in the league just now concern you. It's not concerning me, and I have an investment in the team in the league. So, yeah, a lot of academy players in the team at the minute. A few higher known, better known players, but have only ever played in Scotland. So going through their whole squad list last night, again, in my semi-drunk state, I came to a grand total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players that have played outside of Scottish football. So out of their whole squad list, number 1 to number 4, or whatever I think it is, they have 5 players that have played outside of Scotland. One of them being Tessa Mittag, obviously played at Man City, played at West Ham. Was an okay player in her prime. Again, not a player of my concern. Jane Ross, Scottish, doesn't really get in.
I know Jane Ross.
Yeah.
Did she not play for Man City back in the day?
She played for Man City, West Ham, and Man United.
She scored a few goals for us against us down the years as well. There's a few, that name rings a bell, so be careful for her.
Yeah, her peaks definitely sort of came and gone. I don't know, she's not been in the Rangers squad recently, so I don't know if she's out with injury again. She did do her ACL not long after joining Rangers, but she did come back. Played 2 games, and I've not seen her face again. So as somebody that wears green and white, that doesn't concern me. But as a Scotland fan, I would like her to be okay. Lizzie Arnott as well. If you've watched a lot of WSL football, you'll know that she sort of ran riot on the wing at Man United for a while. I think she was there for 2 years, season and a half, give or take, and then decided she was coming back to Scotland for reasons I do not know. And that's about it, really, for players that people would know. There's nobody else who's really played in the WSL. Mia McCauley, however, is one of their academy players who's sort of broke through in the last couple months and is running riot. So in the 23-24 season, last season, that was her first ever professional season with a contract. She'd only just turned 18, signed her contract, walked straight into the first team squad, had 41 appearances in her first professional season and scored 16 goals. So she's young, she's smart with how she plays with the ball, but I can't see her being anybody that our centre mids and our back 4 can't deal with. The only thing, however, that I'm hoping Arsenal have noted down somewhere is that Rangers will shoot from distance. They're not like a lot of the WSL teams who want to walk it into the box and find a corner. I think the mass majority of their goals they scored against Dundee yesterday and in their game the previous week have all came from well outside the 18-yard box. They're not great shots, I won't lie to you, but we'll let that speak for the level of goalkeeping in the SWPL. But on paper, if you don't know anything about Scottish football, you look at Rangers results and go, maybe we should be scared. But I want to say this is their first time in Champions League football, possibly their second. I have no idea. I don't pay attention to them. So they've not really been in these high pressure situations, and they don't have a lot of experienced players who've played in these high pressure situations before. So I think when it comes down to that, we've got it in abundance with the players that we've got in high pressure situations, big games, knowing what it's like to play in those big moments. So, not just saying this as a Celtic fan and an Arsenal fan, but I genuinely think we'll walk all over them. I can't see it being 0-0 at half time. If it is,
I can.
if it is, somebody might have to physically restrain me. Because having seen both the Rangers goalkeepers, I don't even think either of them would get a lot of time playing in the WSL squad. So we just need our strikers and our midfielders to just, if they get a sniff of goal, just to hit the target, because I've seen that a lot in pre-season. That, no offence to Russo, but swing and a miss for a lot of her shots at goal. She wasn't even making connection with her right foot, was bouncing off her left foot and then rolling out to Cooney Cross to score a banger. So, yeah, I'm not concerned at all going into Wednesday.
I think the problem is the ghost of Paris FC is lingering over the top of us, because I would say underestimate these games at your peril. I know the first time we went through this, it was a breeze. The second time around, we got stung. And I just think I never go into a game. I rarely ever go again thinking it's going to be, because the games you think are going to be easy, the ones where it's 0-0 at half time, they've 2 backs of 4 and they're digging in and there's low blocks and we're, the struggling for fluency. And just that's the nightmare, as you say, 0-0 at half time. Interesting. This, Gregory says you're right. This is the first time we've got Scottish opposition in the Champions League since 2014. When we played a certain team called Glasgow City. And who can tell me any of the 2 goal scorers who scored for Glasgow City that day? Oh, Andrew thinking there's one.
Is it Kim Little? Kim Little?
No. I mean, for Glasgow City. I'll give you a clue. One of the names of the goal scorers is in this show. Yes, Rachel Corsie. She scored for Glasgow City.
I was going to say, what? Mel?
No. So that was back. That was 2014. That was I think it was Alex Scott got a late winner. But
it was Erin Cuthbert still at Glasgow City in 2014.
I don't know. The goal scorers were Lappin, Suzanne Lappin, and Rachel Corsie. We had Yankee, Nobbs, and Scott with a 93rd minute winner to go through. Bit of history for you, but I don't. But that's now. It's 10 years down the line. And we're back playing Scottish opposition again. I hope we can beat them, and I hope it's just a stress-free, easy win. No dramas, no clinging on. Just I agree with you, Mel. I think the team on paper is good enough to win this one. Comparing the two, there's a few experienced heads, as you mentioned, who might have a bit of canny, but a bit of cunning and know-how. But you say it's mostly academy players. The Scottish League is not the same as obviously the WSL. I remember when Glasgow City got, I think it was to the quarterfinals, they played against Wolfsburg during lockdown and got absolutely trounced. Sorry.
So that's as well. Glasgow City were still just a part-time team, so or a semi-pro team. So less than half of their squad was actually on professional contracts. So that was even though they got absolutely run over, it was definitely a big moment for Scottish football for a club like them to get that far.
So, and I think what we need is a good win just to kickstart the season, because I think there's a lot of negativity still after what happened last season, sort of around the club, a lot of doubt and suspicion. And I think we've had an okay pre-season. We looked all right against Southampton. I don't think we've managed to fully shake that off. And if we get a good win in front of a rocking Meadow Park crowd, Mel and George shouting their hearts out in the North Bank, we should be able to kick on from there, because I don't want to go to a 3rd place playoff match in Meadow Park at the weekend, because it'll be awful.
I had a look at the end of last season, because I was very much the same. I was really bordering on Jonas out, so I went back to my old Opta days and had a look at some of the analysts from the whole season. I looked at each and every of the top 6 teams. And what I think scared me the most was our statistics in terms of shots, chances created, clear-cut chances. We were coming out top of most of them. In the games that we were losing to the likes of Leicester, Liverpool, we were, in terms of statistics-wise, there wasn't anything that you could put your finger on as to went wrong. And there was no difference between them games and the games where we really would put teams to the sword. I think that's what makes me nervous for Rangers, because I almost wonder now: is it a mentality side in the team that's holding them back? Because in terms, if you look at just the statistics on their own, and also the squad on paper, there isn't anything there that suggests we should have had the season that we had last season. In terms of even defensively, we outperformed Chelsea and we outperformed Manchester City in the actual defensive stats. And yet, obviously, in the end, our output was very different. And that was something so I'm quite unsure on what to suggest with that one, because there's nothing at all in any of the statistics that point us to a problem.
Yeah, I just going back to obviously like what you were saying, Jack. It is a bit worrying. Like I get there's football games that you can have all the ball and dominate, and just if it's not going to go in, it's not going to go in. You just have those days, but those days seem to be happening a bit more than I wanted it to. Like I think it was the Tottenham game was like a perfect example of that. Do you? Obviously, we'll go around and ask everyone, but do you think? How do you think we combat when teams play that low block? Because them two words, low block, they are very only seem to be associated when teams play Arsenal. Just generally, like women, men, I don't know, youth team, they probably do it and all. So how do you think we can, Jonas can try and combat this time? Because I'm assuming Rangers might do a bit of that.
I'd like to see Frida back into the team. I think she's going to be crucial. I think Rosa as well. I think those two have something different. I think in terms of creating big chances, we're good at that. In terms of shots on target, we were very good at that, even in games we were losing. So what we need is something else to completely unlock them. I think the striker debate is going to be interesting. A lot of people always want to see Stina and Russo in the team, but I feel like it could be horses for courses, sort of with that in terms of which one to play. I'm yet to be convinced of the two of them together, but I do think having someone like Frida behind, especially with obviously Pelova out the team, I think that creativity is going to be key. I think if we keep getting out wide and putting balls into the boxes, I think we might have quite a frustrating season ahead of us. So I'm really hoping that, because we've got the players and the talent to do it, that we just really allow our creative players to get the ball, move it around and try stuff.
Yeah. What do you think about that, Andrew? Obviously, I know we've spoke about low block stuff last season.
it was the phrase that pays last year, wasn't it? Well, clearly we've got Mariona and Rosa in for that reason. With their dribbling ability, they're kind of they're forward thinking. Particularly Rosa is very, very direct in that sense. I think Alicia is starting to play more as a centre forward and less, and that I think some of that with her drifting out into the 10 spots, it kind of created some issues for us going forward. But I think one of the crucial things, and we saw it against Southampton, is the new set piece coach. And all I could say is what I saw is the results. The ball going into the box still looks the same to me. Interestingly, sort of Katie Reid was looking quite, dangerous as well in those set pieces as well. So I think we've got things like that. Obviously, Leah coming back to full fitness. Those raking balls. Somebody to put the ball in front of the wingers rather than to their feet, I think is a good thing. So I think there's a lot, and I imagine that Jonas has thought of very little else other than, kind of those, that Tottenham game haunts us for the rest of our lives, George. That even from minute one, it just felt like we weren't even going to score. We could still be playing. We could have played 3 days and not scored that day. But yeah, I think there's a lot being done. And I think the Arsenal have addressed it. Bottom line is though, let's see. We've got to start putting it into action in a real game. I suppose just looking again forward, although I said it could be 0-0 at half time, an early goal would be just so sweet. Just to sort of, I think you're right there, Jack, about the kind of the hangover from last year and the tension. That early goal would kind of, obviously Mel would explode. So roof would be off at Meadow Park. But yeah, that would help.
Not to be like cruel here, but purely for the Schadenfreude, for the joke, for Rangers bundling a goal after 1 minute just to see Mel's face. We could win 7-1 afterwards and give an absolute trousering, but just for that 5-second moment of just seeing the steam come out of Mel's ears.
All you will see is the back of my head as I exit Meadow Park at very, very quick speed, hurling abuse at Nicola Dockery and Joe Potter on my way out.
I mean, that's the best scenario with just Mel leaving, because otherwise I think the local constabulary will be involved. So
you're going to give me a bad name. I'm not as bad as everybody makes me out to be, I promise.
I stood near you at the Continental Cup. That was an experience.
That was drinking from 6 o'clock in the morning. That's what happens.
And was that a one-off, was it? Drinking.
You put a Scottish girl in a stadium where it's cold and everybody else is in jackets and scarves, and she's got to prove that she's just so much tougher than everybody when it comes to the cold weather.
Is that why Kieran Tierney always used to wear shorts and t-shirts in the blizzard? Is that just
I mean, it's dinging down rain here just now, and it's 6 degrees, and I'm sitting here in shorts with all the windows in the house open. So
6 degrees.
Mel, if there's any comments, just cut me across.
We've had a few. Most of the people just saying good evening. Daisy has also announced her arrival by saying hello everyone, and that she likes my better. And somebody has just asked, did anybody go to the game on Sunday?
Saturday, was it?
Saturday. Honestly, I don't even know where I am anymore.
It was
George.
Saturday, yes.
I don't even know where I am.
No, I went to the game.
Disappointed that it wasn't streamed anywhere, though. I'll be honest. Not that I probably would have seen any of it, but I feel like it was a missed opportunity. I know the last time we played, did we play Southampton in a cup game and we had to pay to watch it?
Yeah.
Not doing that again. But even just like an Arsenal
website.
Yeah, Arsenal.com stream type thing. Because I know it's pre-season, but we still wanna see. Being robbed of a Leah Fadina break.
3 p.m. blackout rules, unfortunately. The hands were tied on that one, which is a shame. They should have scheduled it better, but
yeah. Did you say you went Adam, didn't you? So
went to the game. Yeah.
What was your thoughts on it? Well, just so whoever's asked the question, was the atmosphere good and stuff?
I think it was a 5,000 crowd, so it wasn't as big as the Conti Cup game. I say Conti Cup, R.I.P. the Conti Cup, the League Cup game last season. I thought for the first 20 minutes or so, the crowd was up for it. We had the normal cycle of chants, as we all know from the North Bank. But the problem is, it was a pre-season game. There was, because Southampton were defending deep low block, which we expect because we expect that from Rangers. There wasn't really a big sort of to and fro intensity, which is Arsenal encamped at the other end of the pitch. So we were all gathered up behind the goal. I can't remember which stand it is, block 40, whatever. But Arsenal were attacking the other end of the pitch, so we were completely disconnected from the team. So it all went became a bit of a damp squib, and just watching stuff happen in the distance, hoping one was going to score, and obviously Kari Cooney-Cross did. The second half was much better because they were attacking our end, and we could see all the stuff that we've sort of been worked on. So, Andrew, you mentioned the set piece coach. My word, the set pieces. I mean, we scored from 2 of them, but we were a threat for all of them. But crucially, the ball wasn't being headed away at the near post or going long. We were making first contact, and we were retaining the ball in the box and creating chaos. We didn't have that chaos last season in the box, and it was forcing Southampton to defend very desperately to get the ball behind for a corner, get some blocks in. Seeing Rosa Kafaji charge at the defence, and my word, if there's a player we're going to be excited about next season, it's her. She is just the embodiment of chaos. She wants, I've been saying it to people, last season we were very safe passing, pass it backwards, pass it sideways, keep the ball. She's like, no, I'm going to make that forward pass. I'm going to change the game. I'm going to take the moment, seize the moment, be the moment. And she was twisting defense inside and out. We were taking short corners, and she was darting into the box. Really liked what I was seeing from her, and we just need to build a partnership with her. I think she's going to be our 10, basically. We need to find a partnership with her and the striker, which will probably be Russo. So looking ahead to Rangers, I'd like to see Kafaji and Russo partnered as a 10-9. That was exciting to see. Caldente, first half we saw her in the distance, but she looked quite good, and watching the replays, she looks like a very good left winger. I think she's going to take forward space in the team. I think people are underestimating just how good she is. And I think she's going to surprise a lot of people. But the biggest shout out I can give is to the youngsters. Seeing the likes of Fifin Leah and Michelle Adjamang on the pitch. I mean, Fifin Leah set pieces. I think she could be the understudy to Beth Mead this season. The crosses she was putting in she set up Lara Codner's first goal. Really good, well taken set piece. Adjamang looked a real threat. I reckon she'll go on loan. But I think people talk about Katie Reid. Katie Reid's going to stay in the team this season. I think Mola Coolers as well. I'd keep Vivian Lear in the team. I think she is ready, and I was really impressed with what I saw in that Southampton game. But in the second half, there was a lot of threat happening. That was very exciting to see. But unfortunately, we need to score more from open play. It was 2 set pieces and a worldie. We needed more of those good moments in open play to go in, and we'll need to do that against Rangers.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Andrew, go to you. I've know it was mentioned about Stina and Russo playing together. Do you see that happening, or do you just see? Because surely you'd have to kind of change the formation, wouldn't you? Really, if you're down with Beth, just say Beth, Russo, and Cadenti up as your front three. I don't see really where Stina and Russo would fit in together. Do you agree with that, or?
Yeah, 100%. I think that was a thing for last season. Because Russo was playing more like a 10, and Stina was the ultimate 9. But now we've got Rosa coming in, and Russo is playing more like, she's adapted her game to what to be that more traditional 9. So I think the spaces are there. So I think if it's only in desperate times that those two are going to come on. It's the last few minutes and we need a goal, and we've sacrificed the defensive midfielder, and I think maybe Stina comes on then. But no, I think they will. I think they'll both get a lot of game time, but in the rotation, because I know that Jonas generally likes to finish, have starters and finishers as his front 4. So I think I'm sure Steen will get some starts as well in some of the games. But no, I think the Stina Russo combo is a kind of a 2003 season kind of vintage, and I don't think we'll see much of it, and I don't think we'll miss it much. I think I'm confident that this, I'm hearing what everyone is. Is it Frida? Is it Rose as a start? But I think both. I think we're going to get some goals out of any of the combos that we have.
Yeah,
we should just say with Stina, I don't think she's fully fit at the moment.
Yes,
she got 20 minutes, and she was subbed straight off, and that was intentional. I think that they're trying to protect her. Obviously, we've got some big games coming up because we've got the Manchester City game, we've got the Chelsea game, all coming up, and the potential, if we get through these qualifiers, a big playoff, which will be against a tough team. And I want to make sure to keep that fresh for later on. So I think it will be. I think Russo started all the pre-season friendlies, so I think she's going to start this one as well. And then I don't see any chemistry between Frida and Russo. I didn't see it last season. And that's why I think they'll go for Jonas will probably go for Rosa there as well. But we'll see. We'll see.
It would be interesting if you didn't have to choose between Frida or Rosa, but played them two together. Especially if you had a Caldente, Rosa, Frida front 3 behind Russo. Just in the way that all 3 would be so comfortable centrally, but would also be able to get in behind.
Do you think like 28?
So all the front three. So you could play Frida further out wide. You could play Caldente further out wide, and then have Rosa through the middle. But
then where's
obviously,
me to play?
And
see,
you drop
that's
back. And you drop
that's
back
the
in.
controversial thing I might do. So
Wow.
Fair play.
Go for it, mate.
That's good.
I think
Jack.
we've seen so many low blocks and so many of the same tactics, and it just hasn't worked. That you often see with Manchester City male team. They'll put Bernardo Silva on the wing. They'll have De Bruyne. They play with 3 attacking midfielders in order to unlock these low blocks. And especially with the likes of Rosa, Caldente, they're almost flashbacks to the 90s attacking midfielders with their flair and the way they get the ball and dribble at people. And with Russo with the pacing behind them, it would be very interesting just to feed Russo, but have 3 players who could rotate. That would definitely give opposition teams something to think about. Might not work all the time, but it would give them a different challenge.
I don't think Meads played at the Southampton game. I think she was deliberately rested for that one, as was Steph Catley. Maybe rested in anticipation of the Rangers game. My only thing of Meads is she's one of our best finishers in the team. And I think you would...
Yes.
I can understand the idea of attacking midfielders, but I think you'd lose a lot by taking Mead out of the team. But maybe we can see a situation where Mead is subbed off and Frida comes on to have an alternative option in attack. I think he's played Frida wide as a wide sort of winger before, so it was a wide sort of midfielder. But that's sort of the way I see it. I can't. Mead is the embodiment of what Jonas wants with the high energy, high pressing, forcing turnovers. Mead is that sort of striker, winger, forward, however you phrase it. To sort of go against that is to go against your principle. And I always think when a manager starts going against their own principles, that's when you're really in trouble. So I think that's why
I wouldn't expect it, but I think Mead against the bigger teams, the Chelseas, the Manchester City,
Chelsea.
Manchester United, that really it does work. But I don't know.
We'll see.
It's very predictable in the way that we were last season, especially with Ford one side, Mead on the other. There was a predictability to what they did, and I just think the unpredictability of these new, two new attacking midfielders and one from last season. I just wonder if perhaps it's worth a try if you're 0-0 half time, for sure, just to get something on and do something different.
Rosa and Mariona will give you a lot of unpredictability, absolutely. More so than Ford, certainly.
Yeah.
They will be. I mean, if you start both of them, I'll be really excited and see if they can create some chaos and carnage in that Rangers defence and unsettle it, because we'll need to do that quickly. Don't give the defence a chance to, or don't give them something to hold on to, because it's one classic thing. The longer it goes on, the more confident they get and the more desperate we get, and then that's when it gets anxious. If we can, as Andrew's saying, get in there early, fast starts, unsettle them, and then just kick on from there.
Sorry, Rangers have Nicola Doherty playing on their back line. She can cause enough chaos by herself.
They've got what? Sorry, they've got what in the back line?
Rangers have Nick Dock playing in their back line. She can cause enough chaos by herself.
Is she a bit like a Mustafi sort of?
She's just. I don't tend to watch a lot of Rangers games for the fact that I don't care for them. But every time Scotland play, Pedro plays 3 at the back. We've got Nick Dock out on the left. That woman. See, as soon as she's put under pressure, my patience has never been tested as much.
So she is one to watch for different reasons.
So pass her the ball.
One to watch to see how awful her first touch will be in the first 5 minutes, because she's very shaky in the first 5 minutes, and also to see how little she can cope with Emily Fox.
I'll keep an eye on
her. If she's like the Man United men's backline, we'll be all right. So that's fine. Yeah, I like those difference in opinions. If you agree with Jack about Beth Mead, put it in the comments.
I don't think there'll be many agreeing with me, to be fair.
It might be one way. It might be one way to get the subscribers up, Jack. So
here for the controversy.
I do have to say I completely disagree, but I just think, like, for an example, last season going forward, I don't think there was much positive, but when you bring in Codenti and Rosa Caffergy in, I think that helps Beth Mead a lot more and Russo. It's a bit like if you've got 2 or 3 players up front that are not firing on all cylinders, it's hard. It's a lot of pressure just for it all to be on one person. It's a bit like the men team with Bukayo Saka. Like, so on our left side, it's not as great as the right side is. So, but yeah. So we'll go to Andrew's favourite question of the day. So, Edna, I'll start with him. So, what's your lineup going to be then? Gaffer?
Okay. I'll just put it up on the wall. So, I think it picked. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. But I go Manu, working from left to right. McCabe, Wubben-Moy, Williamson, Fox. I take it Leovalti's fit.
Yes, but I don't know if she's on limited minutes or not.
Okay,
I think she's touch and go at the moment still, from what I've heard in terms of.
Okay, so
Well,
Leo,
70%.
I suppose. That does make it awkward if she isn't. But I'll go with Leah. Just Kim Little, of course. I'm going to say that because I'm scared of Mel.
You should be.
Beth on the right, Mariona on the left, Russo at 9, and at number 10. I think for this game, I think this is a Rosa game. She just needs to go in there and just cause chaos. I'm not saying that necessarily. I'm not necessarily saying just yet that she's better than Frida. I think it's just it's a Rosa game, not a Frida game. I think Frida, when we come up against, we've got Man City, and whoever we're playing on the Saturday night, that might be more of a Frida game. I really don't know much about Atletico at all, other than there's they've got some winger from a young winger that has got beef with us. But yeah, I think that was 11 players, wasn't it? I think in my head it was. I suppose the question is if Leovalti doesn't start, who is it? Do we drop Kim back or do we bring in Kyra? And then if you take Kim out of the 8, is it Catherine Cole? No pressure, Leovalti, but please be fit.
Yeah, that's interesting. There's one there that I don't agree with.
Outrageous, Doggy. Sorry, Doggy.
The dog's podcast, so he's been forced into an Arsenal talk because if he's going to be in here, he's got to be.
Fair play.
Looks very unimpressed, but that's just his face. So he's going to be in on the podcast. He's got to be wearing a Gen BE top. He's also now decided he's leaving. So
we'll get the dogs lined up soon. So. It's McCabe is the one I'm not sure about.
What? Who are you having it on left back then? You're Steph Catley guy.
Yeah, but I don't think. Here you go. You're going to get my controversial thing. I don't think Katie McCabe was as good last season as she has been. I don't see. I see Katie McCabe as a very good squad player. Do I see her starting in our first 11? No.
Be careful who you say that to, George, because you will get cancelled.
It won't, Adam. It won't be the first time. So
won't be the first, will not be the last.
And it won't be the last. Well put. Exactly, won't be the last either.
Yeah. That's not saying that she's like rubbish or anything. I just don't think she is in our best 11.
You've got a vote from Darren Wells there as well. Darren Wells is backing you.
Ironically, whilst wearing a Katie McCabe shirt on my back right now, I do agree she's not been at her best recently. So I would be agreeing with George on that one.
I just we want to, and it isn't like saying we're jumping on like with her bad performances because she wasn't the only one last season. I don't think. Adam, what do you think about that?
I agree. We on our pod we did do a debate over some of the players who did well and didn't do as well, and some of the disappointments of last season. Caitlin Ford was one of them, and sadly, Katie McCabe was another. And I think the thing with Katie McCabe is her level has been so high for so long. She has such high standards. I remember when she sort of made the left back slot her own. I think it was the lockdown season. So 2020-21, Catley was out injured most of the season. McCabe slotted in there, and she was absolutely electric. I don't think we've seen that Katie McCabe since. And I think last season that was impacted by the fact that she was being asked to play all over the pitch. So she was playing at right back. She was playing at left back. She had no consistency in position, so she was having to change a lot. Obviously, she gave her all, did the best that Katie can, and she did a really good game against Chelsea at right back against Lauren James, kept her quiet. I think we need to say, right, this season, stop moving around the pitch, just pick a position, keep her there, and then she doesn't have to keep changing her game.
Yeah.
At the weekend, I would start her at left back. I don't think Catley's fit. She didn't play in the Southampton game. So I think she will start left back. I would go for a defensive pairing of Leah Williamson and Katie Reid.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that, you rascal.
I think Lotte, I don't think, like with the fitness thing, because Lotte was obviously wearing a Batman or Batgirl first name mask during the pre-season friendlies. I think Katie Reid deserves the chance to start centre back. This is the perfect game to do it. Not against Man City in the WSL. It's the Champions League football against a team that Mel assures us is of little quality, so we have nothing to fear. So I say, give Katie Reid that chance. I've got her on the bench, partner with Leah, but they partnered in the Southampton game. Obviously, Codner came. I mean, in second half, it was Codner came to the bench for Leah, not for Katie Reid. Katie Reid got about 88 minutes until she was subbed off. So I'll start Leah Williamson and Katie Reid together. Right back, Emily Fox, of course. And then defensive part, midfield two, I'd go Kim Little, and it looks like he's trying to. Which scarf? My one or one of Mel's many?
It's an Detroit one. Detroit one.
This lovely gift that is pride of position.
I see. I've got good. Yes. It's a good scarf. Midfield two of Kim Little, and it looks like he's trying to forge a partnership with Cara Cooney-Cross. Again, Leah Velti came on the second half. She's still coming back from her MCL injury. I wouldn't waste on a game like this. There are bigger games to come where we're going to need the experience and the talent of Leah Velti. Don't waste on this Rangers game. I'll put Cara in there. She's going to be buzzing. She scored a worldie against Southampton. So that's two I'd start. And then the three, I'd go Caldenti on the left, Beth Moon on the right, Katha G in the 10 with Russo up top. And if that can't beat Rangers, then God help us. And Manu in goal. I don't think I mentioned the goalkeeper, but obviously Manu in goal.
Yeah. Could be a long season if they don't. Mel, what about you? What would you say line up similar to that or
similar? But I'm not gonna. I hate a 4-3-3. I hate a 4-3-3. I play in a team that plays a 4-3-3, and I hate a 4-3-3.
That's fine. I'm a 4-2-3-1, double pivot, and then a 3-1-1.
I want to see a 4-2-3-1 on Wednesday. I want. Manu in goals. Left back, I don't really mind who he plays. If he plays Katie McCabe, let him play Katie McCabe. Let her fight with Nicola Docherty, please. I mean, Nick Dock came up to me at a Rangers game, a Scotland game, and I had my Katie McCabe sticker on the back of my phone, and my Katie and my Kim Little card, and she was like, "She's class," and pointed at Kim, and then pointed at Katie McCabe and was like, "She's not," and I was like, I want to see you two fight. I want to see you go one-on-one. So yeah, either Katie or Steph at left back, either fine with me. Centre back pairing, Leah Williamson. Would love to see Lotte in there if she's up to it. Obviously, playing a team like Rangers, who as a club have a renowned history for being quite physical and quite dirty. I think if you go on the pitch with a Batman mask on, you might as well put a target on the middle of your forehead. And after
break the nose.
Yeah. But beyond that, we'd love to see Katie Reid get some more minutes because she has been phenomenal in every minute she's played so far. Right back, obvious choice, Emily Fox every day of the week. Two in the middle, if Leah Velti's fit, then I'll take that. Kim Little, obviously. The day that I don't want Kim in a starting 11, I've either been kidnapped or I'm being held at gunpoint, so I'm going to need somebody to phone for help. And then the three in front, I'm going to go Caldenti on the left, Mead on the right, Rosa in the middle, and then put Russo in front of those three. And I think that with that talented three sitting between your more defensive players like Kim and Wally, it sort of takes that pressure off Kim and Wally of pushing up when realistically they're your ones that are going to win the ball in the middle of the pitch and they're going to look for that out ball rather than ping balls in over the top and playing through balls and stuff. Obviously, we've seen Kim in previous seasons sort of take more and more of a step away from her attack and role, which just comes with age in the game, unfortunately. But that front three, that three in front of the defensive two, I think could cause a lot of issues for any defence. Obviously, you've got the pace and the creativity down the wing. Down the outside, you've got it through the middle. They're happy to take players on. They're happy to play balls in behind, and I think that's what we need, and that's what Russo needs as a player. She likes playing with her back towards goal. She wants that ball into her feet where she can then ping it out and then make that turn off the last defender and get that ball in behind. And I think that's what we have been missing in some games, that with us just pumping it into the box and hoping for the best.
Yeah.
Can I just pick up on something now? Sorry, about Kim Little. I don't think she'll play as a 10 anymore. I don't think she can play that lead anymore. That's why she's going to go into the double pivot. And I know we want Kim Little to play forever and be the amazing player she always was forever, but time affects us all. Honestly, how many more years do you think she will be at Arsenal for?
100.
Yeah, I don't have to say
seriously. I know we say 100 years, but seriously.
From having watched Kim from the minute she signed a professional contract and went to Hibs, ironically, she used to play in the same league that I'm playing in now. So she used to play in the park just 5 minutes up the road from my house on a Sunday. So having watched Kim as long as I have, she's never really had a dip in talent. She's always sort of adjusted to her age and where she's been played. Obviously, I think going out to America and the couple of times that she did on loan was a big thing for her. And obviously, there's a lot of big name American players that sing her praises. There's not a lot of local young Scottish girls up in Mintlaw that are getting their praises sung by Megan Rapinoe and Tobin Heath week in, week out. So honestly, I'd love to say she's never going to retire. She's dig a hole in the middle of the Emirates and bury her there, like, you know what I mean? But unfortunately, I think at absolute best, we've got 3 years of Kim Little left. If that's in an Arsenal top, or if she comes back up the road and goes to Hibs again, if she goes out to America like Jen's done, for a more sort of relaxed outlook on football, I think 3 years at best is what we have left.
What would you do if she started playing for Celtic?
You would catch me in Glasgow every weekend. You'd never see me at an Arsenal game again.
Wow.
Well, to be fair, I'm currently trying to get my hands on a 2006 Celtic home top with BE on the back. Very, very hard to come across. 2006 Celtic home top. Even harder to find somebody who will print Jen Beatty's name on the back. But yeah, that's my current goal. For shirt to the wall is an Ian Wright Celtic top and a Jen Beatty Celtic top, which they're not very easy to come across.
I think with Kim Little, it's one of these moments where treasure every minute she plays on the pitch from here on in. I just remember she is a really good penalty taker, but I just saw her miss 3 penalties last season, and that's I've never seen on all competitions. Might have been before, I can't remember how many it was in here, but it was ridiculous in that, and I thought, maybe it's something, maybe it's nothing, but I just think, amazing servant for a club on 2 separate occasions, 2 separate spells she's had with us, and I want to treasure every second she wears an Arsenal shirt and steps onto the pitch, because I agree, Mel. I think it's there, it's coming, and it's going to be horrible when it comes.
I say this all the time as well, but people think I say it just because I'm Scottish. But if Kim wasn't Scottish, if Kim was English, she'd be up there in the shout of greatest of all time, one of the best to play in her position, and she'd have every award and nomination under the sun. But
England would have won the World Cup or the Euros before we did the Euros. We would have won it. If Kim Little was in that midfield, we would have won the World Cup in 2019, maybe 2015. Just being in that midfield and what she offered, 100%.
Yeah, I agree. On a serious note, I do think Kim's probably, I was going to go for 2 seasons. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. It's not what I want, so don't shoot me, Mel.
I
I
won't.
I wouldn't be surprised if next summer she said either she was retiring or she was going to have a final season like in Scotland.
Yeah.
I'm not ready for that.
Don't think any of us are.
I wasn't okay when she retired from international football. Same with Jen Beattie. So the day that both of them officially hang up their boots for good, you might have to put out a warrant for somebody to come in my house and make sure that I'm okay, because you might find me just sitting in a dark room for a couple of days.
Every room's dark for me, so it don't matter.
To be fair, I think 56 minutes might be a new record for how long it's taken you to make a blind choice. Might be the longest you've gone, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I feel I'm getting better. But so I'll just build up my bulk therapy sessions for when Kim goes. Jack, quickly we'll go to you about the lineup, and then we'll get all your predictions. So, do you agree with the lineup? What most people have said?
I've been debating 3 at the back, to be fair, especially against Rangers.
He's going
back in the midfield. But my only problem with it is I feel like you have to have Emily Fox in the team somewhere, and I just can't fit her in without 4 at the back.
Well, you've taken Beth Mead out already. Emily's a wing back now.
No, so to be fair, I'd go 4 at the back. I'd probably go McCabe, just for the fact that, because I agree with George that she had a really poor season, and I do wonder if a lot of Caitlin Ford's form on that side was down to her. And perhaps when Steph Catley played, I think there was much better chemistry between the two.
Yeah.
So I would go McCabe, I'd go Williamson, I'd go Lottie, because I just don't think you can not pick her in the team at the moment. And then Emily Fox. I'd put Kim Little at the base of my midfield. She can do everything. I'm much more confident in that. I think she's got 2 to 3 more years to play, just because I think so much of her game is played in her head and in her mind. And I just think she's one of them that can, when she retires, will look and go, she could have played another 2-3 more years. So I think for Kim Little, it's how much appetite does she have to carry on, rather than is she going to be good enough.
True.
If Leah Walty's fit, you'll put Leah Walty in the team. I think for the past 2-3 years, she's been Arsenal's best player.
Yeah.
I'm a massive fan of her. I think a lot of our issues last season was due to her injuries. I think the reason we have had so much success in the big games is down to her ability on the ball and her defensive. But if Leah Walty is not fully fit, I'm going to put Marnham next to Little. I think we're going to have loads of the ball, and I think we're going to be able to keep hold of it. And I think Little's good enough against the Rangers team to marshal that back 4. And then I'm going to go for a front 3 of Caldente on the left, Rosa in the middle, Beth Mead on the right, regardless of all I've just said, and then Russo up top. But I think having Marnham pushed up, and I think also having then Little sat at the base of the defence, I think we've got enough attacking threat on that pitch to cause them trouble. And I can only see Rangers causing problems with set pieces against us, if I'm honest, or a mistake caused by us. And I think let's get as many attacking players on that pitch and win this game as early as possible, because the longer it goes on, there's no good in saving people for later on, because we will get nervous. I'll get nervous. And so I think get Marnham on the ball, have our attacking players in front, and hopefully Russo can start the goal scoring form early.
Yeah. Yep. No, I agree. I'd probably go for a similar team, but apart from I take McCabe out and bring Catley in if she's fit.
I think that's the thing. If she's fit, I could see that happening. If she's fit.
Yeah. So Mel, is there any comments quickly?
We've had quite a few comments, I'll be honest. It's the most I've seen in a while.
Well, it's clearly because I'm on, obviously.
I was going to say my Beth Mead comments might have brought in
the Beth Mead comment hasn't really been broken up. There has been a lot of people agreeing with George about the Katie McCabe situation. There has also been a few saying that even though Katie's not been playing her best, she did have a good link up with Mariona on Saturday, creating an overlap and with Mariona moving inside.
That's good.
Some more people who aren't me asking for Kim Little to stay for at least 10 more years. A few comments saying great show, we'll tune in again, stuff like that. So yeah. Also, Darren would like to let it be known that his score prediction for the Wednesday is 6-0 to the Arsenal.
Cool.
Just on that McCabe one, I would say if you put McCabe and Caldente there, that's a very attacking left wing. You're basically putting a forward at fullback, a bit like how we used to put Lisa Evans at right back, just to get more numbers in the forward areas. So your only thing is, if you are doing that, you've got to make sure your back line shuffles across, and that'll be on Katie Reid to slot in. But it'll get you your numbers overload on that left flank, which could be crucial.
Cool. So if it's not 6-0 down, that's a drink for everyone that's on the show. So cool.
Not for me.
Right. Yeah. So right, we'll go around to predictions before we wrap up the show. So I want your score, and then I want your first goal scorer. So I'm going to start. Who am I going to put under pressure first? Jack.
I can't see us not keeping a clean sheet, if I'm honest. I've watched a fair bit of women's Scottish football, and I think it's struggling. It's underfunded and not taken as seriously as it should be. And so I'm going to go 5-0. I think I'm feeling pretty optimistic. I think we'll score early. It's not this round of the Champions League I'm nervous for. It is the next one that I think might prove more difficult. And first goal scorer, I'm going to go Russo. I think that she's going to have loads of chances. I think she'll probably miss loads as well on Wednesday, but I can't not see her scoring.
Cool. Adam, you can go next.
Yeah, I've got a feeling, and Mel's not going to like this one. I'm going 3-1 to Arsenal.
Whoa.
I just think we're just still a bit too close to pre-season, and I think to that goal we conceded against Chelsea when we were a bit of a mess at the back, and I could easily see something like that happening again. The team's not fully switched on. There's something happens, a bounce the ball in the box, we don't get the clearance right, and it's in the net. We win regardless, but there's Mel has to sort of be escorted from the ground early for causing a scene. Even if it's in the 93rd minute, I think 3-1 we'll go through. I don't think it'd be pretty. If this was, let's say, November, December time, we're fully up to speed and on form, we go in, we win 6-0. But I don't think we're at that point in the season where we can do that. If we do, it'd be great. But I think a 3-1 win, we get through and go on to the next one.
All right. Near Mel when there's a goal. Just because I won't see it coming. See, that's 2. I got the second one.
Oh, good grief.
Mel, what do you think the score will be? Double digits?
I don't think it's going to hit double digits, if I'm honest. I think Arsenal are probably going to score a couple goals and then just be like, job done.
Cruise it the second half.
Yeah. So I'm going to say 4-0. And that's me being optimistic. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to see us absolutely run them over and it'd be like 10-11-0, like they've been running over Montrose and stuff, just so I can really run it in. But
channel the spirit of Bristol City. That's what we need Rangers to do. Channel the spirit of Bristol City.
We need Joe Potter to have tactics, a tactical mindset like the Montrose coach did when they pumped them 11-0.
The manager now. Joe Potter, the Rangers manager.
Joe Potter is the Rangers manager now, yeah. She's been there since the start of the 23-24 season, I think.
Yeah, because, she was a bit of a midfielder general sort of for England at the time and, quite experienced. As, been around the WSL. If you go back to the archive, she's there.
Yeah.
Right, okay. She's cutting her teeth at management. Fair play to her.
Yeah, I think she was assistant manager at Birmingham before she came up to Rangers, but she came up to Rangers and they've only won a couple of trophies. They haven't won the league, so...
I hope she doesn't get them to channel the spirit of Birmingham City, because they knocked us out the Champions League 3-0 aggregate and have caused us more pain closer in more recent years as well.
No, I can't see that thing. But I'd say 4-0. I can't. I'd love us to absolutely flatten them and run them over and just send them back to Glasgow on Sunday morning with their tails between their legs type thing. But
Russo hat trick for me, please. I'd love a Russo hat trick.
But I can't see that happening. I think we'll score a couple and just take the foot off the gas a little bit, because obviously we've got that game in quick succession on the Saturday as well.
Yes.
And obviously 4 games played on that pitch in quick succession. I can't imagine it's going to be in the best of nick by Saturday night. But you know, it's not a groundsman. That's not my problem. But for first goal scorer, I want to say Russo, but I feel like Russo's a really obvious shout.
Okay.
But I think if she starts and plays well, I would love to see Rosa score on Wednesday.
Cool.
What about an own goal? Rangers' own goal to get the goal rolling.
Nicola Doherty on goal. And
Yes,
I'm on that pitch. Nick Dock on goal, and he's going to hold me back.
So yeah,
Exactly.
Andrew, quickly before we finish, what's your prediction?
3-0 Mido.
Cool.
Oh.
That's the quick answer I needed. Thank you.
There you go.
I'm gonna go. I always do it. First game of the season. 5-0 Emily Fox. First goal scorer. So I just want to say thank you to everyone for the show. Adam, thanks for coming on. You've been brilliant as always. Thank you, Jack.
No, thank you very much.
And Adam, I've said thank you to you.
You can thank me again. Just keep going. Keep thanking me. It's great. I love it.
Andrew, cheers.
Cheers,
always,
boss.
mate.
No worries.
And Mel, thank you for helping, being the co-host as well. So really appreciate it.
No problem at all.
Cool. So everyone, thanks for tuning in. Please hit that subscribe button. It really, really helps with the chat. Share with anyone. If anyone wants to come onto the shows, just reach out to us, and more than happy to have you on. And hopefully we'll have a show next week, and that is when we're in the next round of the Champions League. Good night, everyone.